Hey guys, what's going on? Chris from Flying Lap Media, and here we are, New Orleans, the Big Easy for the start of a brand new SKUSA Pro Tour season. As many of you know, we just wrapped up the inaugural Winter Series in Ocala, Florida, and crowned some very deserving champions. But it's time to do business once again for 2018. It's been a while since we last spoke with Tom Kutscher, SKUSA principal, and we've got a lot to cover in this interview. We're going to dive a bit deeper into the development of the pending IAME shifter kart engine. We're going to talk about a potential venue change for 2018, and we're going to give you a little teaser of what you can expect for SuperNationals 22 returning to the Rio Hotel. Hey guys, what's going on? Chris with Innovation Multimedia, and we are back at NOLA Motorsports Park for the beginning of a brand new season of SKUSA Pro Tour Racing. We'll try to keep this interview concise. Some of them run a little bit long. We'll get right to the meat of it. So sitting next to Tom Kutscher, what a fantastic season it's been already. Something new this year. You're coming off a very successful SKUSA Winter Series, the inaugural SKUSA Winter Series. Talk a little bit about the early success that you enjoyed in Florida.
You know, going into Florida was always something we wanted to do, but you know, we were blocked out. Was the bottom line. In all contracts, it said no Tom Kutscher, no SKUSA. So you know, with Eric getting the track, that gave us a little heads up, and George let us use Ocala. So we said, you know, now is a good time to do it, and a lot of people have been asking in the last 5 years to do something, but you know, with the falling of road tax and you know, having other options, it was a good time. You know, and I didn't know what to expect. I was going to be happy with 150 people. I think it was 211 and 197 are the actual numbers, you know, on the track or something like that. But you know, 200 or so plus, that's a success.
And no doubt, as people probably know, but just to reiterate, it was a fantastic event for the competitor in terms of prizes. I mean, dollar for dollar, it probably rivaled the SuperNationals in terms of Fittipaldi wheels and trips to France. It really was a successful event in that way as well.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah, it was definitely Christmas.
Yeah.
I think we gave away $70,000 or $80,000 worth of stuff, but it's, you know, it's, I don't know, it worked out fine. You know, a lot of these guys are here now racing for free.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they are.
Yeah, and in
all
fact,
the top guys.
One particular note, which I think is really neat, you're often criticized for not giving back. You're making all the money and you're throwing it in the Brinks truck. Yeah. But the reality is, so a guy like Billy Musgrave wins at the Pro Kart banquet. They pull his ticket out of a fishbowl. He wins a free season of SKUSA Winter Series racing, goes on to do that, drives across the country, and literally wins an entire year of racing. And
you know, people can understand, you know, these two are not flying in on a helicopter. They're driving straight through to be at their event at LAKC a couple days later, and true racers. I mean, and it's awesome to see. It's just like the, what's his name, that won last year in Indy, in the shifter, you know, threw his stuff in the Expedition and drove down. Right.
AJ Myers.
Yeah, Myers. And I really like that. That's the stuff I love to see, right, is the dad, and just, you know, as a father, just being able to enjoy something so cool. So, but yeah, the Florida thing was badass. Yeah, and a lot of people are excited to learn, and you've already announced it, but you've confirmed that for the first round, or first and second round of 2019, you're back at Homestead, is that correct? Yeah, we'll be the dates will be the same. The dates will stay the same, so everybody knows that, you know, those are the dates that we're going to be running in Florida. We haven't confirmed with George if it's going to be Ocala or what we're going to do, but because we just got out of there. Yeah, literally. I mean, we just picked our stuff up and we're here right now. So it's just you know, we're trying to, you know, Yumi spoke today. We're trying to get information out quicker, but this year it just seems to be. What did we say? We're on our 4th race already, or something? Yeah, like it's as people know, it's been literally across country, one side to the other, weekend after weekend, regional, national, Florida, California, etc. Yeah, so I mean, hell, you know, it's the first week of March. It's my 4th race. Right. You know, that's usually half a season, right? So, I mean, it's been back to back, you know, but it's good. I mean, that's what you got to do. Yeah, you know, no doubt. That's what people wanted it, and you know, we look at market share and what people want, and we had to do it. So I'm super excited, and I think it'll be a big 19, because a lot of people are like, whoa, we had 60-70% of people I hadn't never seen, never met. So it was a new crowd, which was exciting, like, hey man, thanks for coming to Florida. So it was very positive. And it's no secret, I mean, obviously the majority of your entries skewed towards the IAME class for obvious reasons. There was a tentative
hope that you could have the shifter engine released by this year's SKUSA Winter Series, and you made the decision not to do that. It wasn't quite ready, and instead you did something which I think is really interesting. You brought out the engine and you had several people try it at the various SKUSA Winter Series races to get their input. I'm sure people are dying to know, where is the IAME shifter engine, and kind of where is it at in the development cycle, and what can people expect?
Man, it's I tell you what, developing or being part of developing an engine that's going to meet the criteria is one pricey little dude.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a lot of hours, and you got to pay these drivers to do it, and it's boxes and boxes and boxes of tires, and it's pallets of fuel and oil, right? And we have logged successfully in the 25 to 30 hour range on these motors, split them, looked at them. We've done some different bearings, some different, you know, and Lynn is on it. You know, Lynn Haddoquin, you know, I looked at him the other night and I says, all I want to know, does this have your stamp of approval? You know, with his toothpick and his southern accent, he goes, I think we're right there. I said, nice. We're good. So I'm really excited that he has been part of this thing, and the design of it was, you know, based on what are the best parts we can get and come up with something new that's still going to be fresh and just going to, I mean, it's exciting. When Famal gets off, he goes, oh yeah. Yeah. And the other guys, man, did you see him lifting? I'm like, it's got torque, yes. There's, you know, but it's a driver's car. We have come out with a carburetor that's Tillotson. Absolutely hats off to Tillotson. I think they're on 8th or 10th version, but we're doing no jetting right now, right? No jetting.
And talk a little bit about it. I know you've spoken off camera. The reason for the jetting, you've said for a safety concern, you don't want people fiddling around with it during the drive.
No, so right now we have adjustable, but hell no, they're not going to put their finger down, and we're not going to have a chain take off a finger. So there will be screws on that carburetor, but it's not going to be a carburetor game where you're just needles and jets and mains and pilots and motion tubes and I mean, it's a science. They have come up with in the beginning it was a light switch. It was not very easy to drive, but man, they go back to the grind and try this. And then they've flown out a couple times. I mean, what a company, what a company.
And that's obviously the concern that people have expressed is initially the carburetor was a little tricky and finicky, but now, just to put people's minds at ease, there's been significant developments in there in progress. So.
No, it's, I mean, the last time they drove it, they have changed it even a little bit more since. We have I got them, I think yesterday, or I got the motors back, so what we've done is we've sent them back to Italy. Everything has been gone through just to make sure, hey, what's wearing, what's not wearing, what's strong, where can we improve? We have 3 different versions of a little bit of bottom ends that we're seeing which one's wearing best. And we have logged our hours as best as you can. And, you know, I get excited about racing, I get excited about certain things, but this is really exciting. It's, as a shifter guy, you know, I mean, that's my absolute passion, slamming gears. This can definitely get guys going again. I think people are just gonna go high-fiving and smiling and going, man, this is something else. And what it's not gonna be, it's not gonna be the flavor, you know, we don't run a race team. You can't get a special cylinder, you can't. Right. Okay? This will also have a claiming rule. This will also be monitored. It's not gonna be the rich man's motor. It's not happening. You don't have any connections with nobody that can get you a special one. Everything's available, everyone's available to buy, and it's equal. Is one gonna be better than another one? Of course, it's a motor. Sure. But it's, you can
to the most of your ability, you're gonna regulate it and make it as fair
and most important, like we've done on the X30 and anything else, yeah, it might have some radiator hoses that are different color or somehow. Nothing's gonna change. We're not gonna make you buy another cylinder. We're not gonna, you know, we've already gone through that, and that stuff didn't work. You know, we already seen that ship come and go. So I'm doing the same thing, you know, either 7 or 10 year deal that this is the way it's going to be built. End of story.
And hence the reason you're taking such care to make sure that it's perfect.
Guys, could we have the shifters? Yes. Could we compete with somebody else? I said, of course. We got the same damn motor. It's not, it's there. Yeah. But I wanted something different, man. Where it's just, and it's going to say SKUSA on it. I mean, it's a motor that we have put a lot of time into, and a lot of people have driven it, and a lot of feedback, and we've listened to all of it. Yeah. You know, from day one. So I'm really excited, and you know, we're talking about the launch right when I'm done here. We're going to go over and talk to some teams, but you know, my game plan is to launch it at one of our pro tours. And
potentially this year.
Yes.
You know, flirt with the idea to see what
yes.
we can.
We're flirting with the idea of, at the last pro tour, inviting 20 of the best pilots that we have, 15 to 20, supplying the motors. They supply the chassis. We supply everything. And you know, the last feedback, we're 99% sure that everything's okay.
The last step is seeing how it performs under race conditions.
That starts the excitement and the talking, and then the launch will be in Florida. And I think this first year we start with S1 and S2. And, you know, I know the S4 guys they're gonna be just chomping at the bit, but the Honda motor will still be there too. You know, we're not walking away, but the Honda motor will be more for the S3, for the beginner, for the S5. There will be a club. There will be a place for Honda because there's going to be so many of them, and they'll be priced right, and it's a way to get in there. So it's not a bad thing. It's actually pretty positive.
Yeah.
You know, you have this platform of motors you can now get a hold of at a decent price, use stuff, and then you got this monster shifter.
That's right.
That is, you know, that's going to be. I think it's going to put some new blood into the whole deal.
So you mentioned Indy, and of course we're here at NOLA, great facility, but there's a lot of rumors circulating throughout the paddock regarding that Summer Nationals race, or I guess it would be, yes, the Summer Nationals, or excuse me, Spring Nationals. Get mixed up.
Yeah.
The rumor floating around, as you probably have heard, is that there's likely to be a venue change regarding that particular round, and what was previously scheduled for Sonoma sounds like may not be the case. Curious what you're able to say or comment on that.
I mean, there's no secret. I can't afford to buy the tracks these days, you know, so you know, they have signed an exclusivity right, which I've never seen a track do, which I absolutely think is the most dangerous thing you could ever do. So I have a feeling that, you know, we'll probably be up there in a couple of years because you can't have. I encourage them to have all of us and then some more in clubs and stuff. You can't just tell people, hey, you got to drive the Chevy.
Right.
That's all you're going to race. You can't race anything else. So, you know, it is what it is. They have lost all their help up there, so the person that we have always dealt with, and it's really delicate to get all the room, and you have to work with them. Well, those people are all gone. So the infrastructure is not there, and I really don't trust the whole situation. So yes, we are gonna move it, and probably by the time this gets out, the contract will be signed. But our goal is to go to Phoenix.
Great facility, great people there as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's you know, they support us in certain areas, but you know, there's only so many people too. Where people don't understand. Hey, come here. I was like, well, you can't host us. Now, if you look in here, it's full. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, we can maybe get in a couple more rigs, but that's it. So very few people have 300 plus spots to have. Phoenix does. They do here. You know, we looked into Rudolph's place in Houston, but it doesn't have the infrastructure. We can't do the pitting, so there's a little more just to it. And another thing too is, you know, Phoenix has $79 hotels, and of course, you know, I mean, when we were in Sonoma last year, our hotel bill was $23,500, and we drove for 30 minutes. Right. You know, so I mean, there's a lot to it. And what it does, there are some teams that it's just too long of a haul, and it takes 15 hours out of anybody coming out of here on the East Coast. It's going to take a whole day out of their trip, right? So that's the positive side. Yeah, do I like Sonoma? Yeah, I do. Of course. A lot. But it looks like Phoenix is where it's going to be, and then I think next year we'll put a little different spin to it. You know, maybe a little Utah, and now Miller seems to have had their stuff signed and done, and seems to be stable where you can plan an event around it. We were trying, but we couldn't because they weren't, not for this event. They wanted this next event. Everybody wants this event, but I think the quickest way right now is Phoenix, and then next year we'll look at some other options. Well, and you really kind of explained that well, but just to underscore that, it's really a situation where it's no secret that the landscape in the national karting scene it's very competitive, very contested, and in some cases cutthroat. Just to unpack that for people at home, it's really this track. Sonoma has signed an exclusivity contract with a competing engine platform, and thus, really, the show that you bring to the table just doesn't fit within their exclusivity. So you're sort of left with no other choice than to really reconsider other options. Yeah. I mean, there's no. I mean, you say it the nice way. It was pretty much they just bought the rights and made sure I got kicked out. And you know, everybody has a different business plan. My business plan is to, as a business, put the best race or perform the best race that I can and earn their business. If I don't, they win. If I do, I win.
Sure.
I'm not going to go plunk down a couple $100,000 to try to freeze me out. You know, you can start doing that, and yeah, you do have millions of dollars to play with, I get it. But ultimately, the customer is the one that has to make the decision where they feel they are the best. You know, the one thing that we have that we're not a race team. We don't make chassis. You know, we have an MG, we have an IAME, and you show up with your chassis, and off we go. So, you know, it's people's choice. I'm just going to keep on going. Sure. And just doing the best that I can. And, you know, it's not that big of a deal. Right. To me, it's just, you know, it's a different way of doing business that I'm not used to. Is it cutthroat? Whew. Yeah, I thought the corporate world was a little cutthroat, but yeah, for sure.
Well, and lastly, to kind of wind this down, SuperNationals 22, as people know by now, it's a return to the Rio, and really, at least in my mind, it's really, when I think of SuperNationals, Westgate, the UNLV Stadium, great facilities in their own right, but really, there's just something special about the Rio. Yeah. I have to imagine you're quite excited to get back there.
Yes and no, because, you know, I mean, there's an inch between every trailer.
Yeah.
If you don't remember that you have a generator that needs to open the lid, you're out of luck. Right. You got to have that in your grid. I mean, there's not going to be one 30-foot trailer with one guy. I mean, we have to have, you know, we give everybody, roughly every driver 10 by 10 is how we do it. So it's going to be different. We're going to have to smoothen out the track. We're going to come up with some designs. It's so weird. We have the last race that we did. The reason I did it because I got a 1.1 million square feet to play with of smooth asphalt. Yeah. That's never going to happen again. Not in Las Vegas. Some ridiculous pricing, right? And I was like, let's do it. Right. I knew it was the last year. I knew we would never do it again. But everybody liked that crazy tight,
that cozy feel
pot of 600 people at the Rio.
Yeah.
I just, every time, we want to go back to the Rio. What? You don't like this, you know, this straightaway of, you know, no. All the room, no, I like the Rio. Yeah. That was 90% of the people that like the Rio. And maybe it's because they can walk straight up to their room, go to the bathroom, take their helmet. They don't even get out of their suit.
So true.
And so, I mean, it has a lot of good things to offer.
And it's no secret, obviously, the competing organization is also doing an event at the Rio, and that's well known by now. But talk a little bit about what your intentions are to bring to the table. I mean, as you said quite well, really it comes down to the product and the service that you offer, and really just what you deliver in terms of the experience for the racer and the spectator and everybody in between. Any early teasers of what people can expect for this year's SuperNationals?
I got to be careful what I say,
because
then we talk about imitating or copying. I mean, that's all they do. So everything I do, they're going to do the same thing. So it's going to be really good, man. We're going to have to. We got less time to fix up the place. We have people. You know, remember, Las Vegas is my town. Okay, it's not easy to do business in Las Vegas. You got to know the people. You got to grease the wheel.
Oh, yeah.
It used to be called Mafia, it's now called Union. Yep. You got to know the ins and outs. We got 21 years in Las Vegas, or 20. And it's going to be huge. Yeah, there's going to be the TVs and you know what we're going to do. I mean, we're going to do it right. It's going to be a lot of money spent to put on the biggest race in the world, and that's what it's always going to be. The one thing about the SuperNationals, it is the one thing that I can say is recession-proof. I can't say that about this. Right. This is 200 people, and 211 people here this weekend, and I'm grateful for that. But I always know that when I hit that switch, there's 300 entries by next day. I mean, that doesn't happen in the real world.
People have to do it. It's on the bucket list.
Sold out. I mean, I forget what class sold out in 8 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, what sells out in 8 hours? Nothing. You know, so. Yeah, I'm excited, and there's going to be a lot of work, and there's going to be a lot of preparation to go back to the Rio, because it's the parking lot is bumpy as all get out. Yep. So we got a lot of work to do, but they can expect a hell of a track and a hell of a show.
And you touched on TV. Just to kind of shed light on a couple of people have asked throughout the paddock. So there's a little shift in strategy for this year's Pro Tour and also the Super Nationals. Last year, of course, and the years prior, the Pro Tour and the Super Nationals have been featured on CBS Sports. And really, as the series and the organization has evolved, so has really the concept of linear television. And where I'm going with that is, last year you did something interesting as kind of an experiment, and you live streamed the Super Nationals. And I think it's fair to say it was a runaway success. The quality, the ability for people to tune in live and watch their son or daughter or grandma and grandpa, everybody can tune in, and that was a runaway success.
It was. You know me, I can barely turn the computer on. Yeah, I can reply or reply all, but they took my phone and put it on live, and I'm looking at it going, this is better than watching it. And then seeing the strip and seeing that was amazing. I was blown away. And I think you said it's been shared or it's been out to 300,000 people.
Sure.
I don't get to 300,000. I mean, TV is neat. I'm an old school guy, so I tape it or whatever it's called, right? Or it's called
DVR, yeah. Right.
Or video.
Yeah.
I tape it and I look at it, but I dig it. But then there's really 30 seconds of it, right? And then comes the kids, and then comes the senior.
Right.
And you're like, kind of boring. Right? You don't see the stuff, and seeing it live like that was amazing. And hearing from the guys from Mexico that grandma's watching. I got phone calls from Sweden, where I'm from, saying, wow. And I didn't know it was going to be that big. I had no clue. I was blown away.
Yeah.
I'm also blown away by the price to do it. I mean,
to do it right. I mean, it really is, yeah.
Holy shit.
You
11 people at 70.
Sure. A guy holding an iPhone could do it, but yeah, you certainly spent the money to do it right, and the quality showed it.
Yeah, the quality did show. Yeah. So, yes, that will be back, because I am absolutely amazed by it, and that's going to do a lot. I mean, it's we're definitely going to spend the money to look the absolute best, where people can wherever they're at, they can sit and watch the whole damn thing.
Cool. And with that, we'll let you go, but I did want to add one footnote that we spoke right before rolling here. A lot of people have been asking, of course, for the drop-down bumpers, and just to kind of, by the time this airs, of course, this meeting will have occurred, but after immediately we're done rolling here, you're going to talk to some of the teams and give the Reader's Digest version of kind of where that sits in the SKUSA universe, and will we see drop-down bumpers or pushback bumpers, or yes and no? And
I mean, we've done it, we've tried it. I think the driving style, or I have to say it the right way, the go-kart is designed so well today that some of these guys have never really, I mean, I know when I go side by side with you, one of us is going on the head back in the days.
Yep.
And we would, and I said this before, we would have a chopper every damn Pro Tour. Not when I was here, but when I was racing, right? Today, the equipment is so safe and so good that it's getting so aggressive, and our younger generation is driving very aggressively. And again, I always tell you, getting hurt on my shift is not my program. That's the most important thing. Okay, and that's why I came back here, actually. To be honest with you, we went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We ran 1,000 people through this event, and knock on wood, had not one roll of an ambulance. And that's successful. And that's what the parents and the people got to understand. I'm working on it. They think they think this or they think that. We're working on it, and what we're going to do is, right when we're done here, we're going to go see there's 6 to 8 teams. We're going to see them all, and we're going to say, guys, I don't want to have Mike Speed yelling at me or somebody yelling at me.
Remind people or tell you that
we're
not allowing any track walks.
They can bring 3, 5, 10 seconds, whatever they.
Running their rental carts onto
so
the track tonight.
that's important.
Yeah, and really, that's the perception that I hear a lot is, SKUSA doesn't listen, they're not taking in the feedback. But the reality is, you're going to meet with some of these team owners right now and say,
folks, don't stand around and say I don't listen if you've never spoken to.
Yeah.
Did you ever talk to me? No. Did you ever email? No.
Right.
Well, don't MF me if you haven't. Just come up and see me. Talk to me. Send me an email.
Yeah.
See me at the track. Talk to me. Give me your concerns. I want to know. And I do listen. They want the bumper. You got the bumper.
Sure.
Now you tell me what the penalty is going to be, because you're going to be the one that's going to yell at me these damn bumpers.
That's right.
Right. So that is what we're going to establish. Rolling into Phoenix, we'll have pushback bumpers in all the automatic series. I do not see us having them in a shifter. I just don't. But I see them in all our other classes. I do. And we'll see if it runs, and let's see what Supernats does. Because we're going to the Rio with 550 or 600 people in that first turn. we might have half of them, they're going to be out
Yeah.
with the bumper
Yeah,
thing.
be careful
So,
what you wish for.
Yeah, so
Right.
so it might be a good opportunity. And Phoenix is a lot smaller. Here you can really spread your wings, and I needed 30 days to do this. So with that said, they're all calling right now because I'm a little
No
bit
worries.
late.
We'll wind it down. But
Yeah.
with that, folks, thank
I'll
you
be
for
right there.
Yep. Thank you for your time as always. And yeah, we'll give some follow-ups as well once we edit this stuff, and whatever gets decided here in this town hall meeting, we'll put it out there. So
Sounds good.
all right, guys. Thank you.
All right.